How's it going, guys? Thank you for joining another Small Engine Nation live Q&A. This is Phil, and I am very excited for today. This is, I believe, number 6 of our live Q&As. And I don't know, for some reason, I was getting nervous, seeing that countdown going to 0 and then hitting live. And then I'm like, what do I say? I'm in front of a lot of people, but we appreciate you guys joining on here. We got 7 people on here right now. We're gonna wait until a little bit more people show up, and then we'll start the live Q&A. The way this works, as always, and I've been kind of testing the waters here, but what we're gonna be doing now, and what we did last time, and it worked really well, is what we're gonna do first in the first hour is answer as many questions as possible. And let me break down to you how this is gonna work. I am not the best mechanic. I'm not the most knowledgeable. Let's put it out there. I will try to answer as many questions as I can by me personally. But if there's a question that I don't know an answer to, I'll be honest with you and say I don't know the answer to it. So you can just leave your questions in the chat, and someone might be able to help you with that if I can't. Anyways, the first hour is just going to be all questions and answers, and then the next hour following after that will be I'll throw in the link out there. If anybody wants to join, they can do so by hitting the link and proceeding on with the being a guest on the show. Well, let's see who we got on here. We got AJP Ash with AJP Garden Machines. Welcome. We have David with DNR Small Engine Repair. Welcome as well. We have Matt Small Engines. How you doing? Steve Small Engine Saloon. Thank you for joining. And we also have, Mowers and Blowers Outdone. Thank you for joining as well. And Matt says, Phil, don't be nervous, just be yourself. Exactly. That's what all of this is all about. I'm just being myself. If I don't know the answer to the question, I won't give you an answer because I don't want to lie to you. So if any of you have any questions, you can just go ahead and leave them down in the chat down below, and also make sure to hit the like button. We really would appreciate that. The first question I have, and again, we'll kind of go through these generated questions from the questions that I always get from my videos. I have some on here, but if nobody has a question currently, then we'll just go over the first question that I have here. I will use these as kind of backup. Last time when we did live Q&A, there were so many questions that I didn't really have to resort to these YouTube viewer generated questions. So if any of you have any questions that you would like to me to answer, then you can go ahead and leave your questions in the chat. So the first question I have on here is, let's see. And welcome, Sheep Meat Andy. Glad you could join on, and Jungle Bob as well. We see you out here. Best marketing strategy for 2021. That what's working for me right now is obviously, like I've been always preaching to you guys, Craigslist, Nextdoor, and Facebook. I mean, if you guys can get those 3 down as far as your advertisement goes, you will gain clientele. I mean, that's just no doubt about it. You will get calls, you will get more new clients, and it's just more people where you can hand out business cards, give 2 or 3 to each person, to each client. And it also depends on how you sell. If they call you, you need to be very well trained on your customer service skills, how you present yourself, how you answer the phone, everything like that. So that way you can actually draw in the customer and make them bring bring their machine to you. But going back to best marketing strategy, I think for a fact, again, Craigslist, you got Facebook, and you got Nextdoor. So check out those 3 apps. I'm sure everybody knows what Facebook and Craigslist are. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't know what Nextdoor is. It's just a neighborhood app. You can go ahead. There's an app. There's a website. You can go to nextdoor.com. It's really easy to sign up. So go ahead and check that out. But I have not got into, having paid advertisement. What I mean by that is, like, if you guys have probably seen, what is those companies called that always call me? They're like telemarketers, always call me and tell me to sign up with them. I cannot. Thumbtack, that is one of them. Thumbtack always calls me and says, hey, if you give us $300, we can do your marketing for you for a month. And it just stay away from those kind of things where you have to give people money in order for them to do advertisement for you or draw you leads or give you leads or what do they call it. I'd stay away from those companies just because you can go and spend, $100 on Craigslist ads a whole month and drive more leads and get more clientele your way just by doing it by yourself. So not too very simple to do, not even that hard. I mean, if you want, I can kind of break it down to you and lead you to that, how to do it properly. If you really want to, just give me a shout or send me an email and I'll kind of teach you my ways of advertisement. But anyways, that was the first question. Let's see who else is on here. Tyler Rainman, thank you for joining. Terry Baker, thank you for joining as well. Let's see. Oh, he says Tyler has got a question. Let me go up back to the comments here. Sorry. Do you plan on dropping any merch? Would love to hang some SEN swag in my shop/buy shirt. Tyler, I'm thinking about it. As soon as I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm planning on putting out merch, and that way I think I'll have my logo down and everything like that. So it might be a little bit. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I want to kind of do it in a way where I'll have it down. I don't want to do like everything at once. I want to do like a shirt, sweatshirt, maybe a hat. That's about it, or a sticker or something like that. So not sure when, but I will have merchandise as far as sweatshirts, stickers, everything like that when I reach about 10,000 subscribers. So stay tuned for that. Oh, Steve, we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I did see it, but I wanted to answer Tyler's question. Sorry for not getting really excited, but I do appreciate it, Steve. Thank you so much. He gave me the $5. What is it called? Super chat, and he says just testing. Yeah. Oh, we appreciate it, Steve. Thank you so much, man. That $5 will go back into channel development and growth. So we really appreciate it. Helps us out, helps the channel out, and also helps out the business. So, Steve, thank you so much for the $5. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Tyler, one more question. He said, I messaged Aaron's for some swag, hooked me up with stickers and a hat. How do I get free signs slash flags from other companies? I don't know. That's a hard one. I usually don't even do that. I don't call other companies to get free signs, flags. When I did work at the steel dealership, they had a sign, a huge steel sign. It wasn't a sign. It was just one of those plastic flag type of banners. And I got to keep it when the event ended. So it was really nice, but I'm not sure. I've never contacted any companies to see if they would give me free merchandise. Oh my, okay. You guys are getting out of control. Tyler, we appreciate your $9.99 super chat. I think this is the most amount of super chats I've ever got on a live. This is a rare occurrence, guy. We appreciate it, man. Tyler, I appreciate. Again, goes back to the channel development, channel growth. I mean, I don't use any of this money for personal reasons. It all goes back to refueling the content that I create. I am thinking of getting a different mic set, like a wireless mic, so that way I don't have to drag a cord around, because I did have one instance where I was tuning up a chainsaw and had that cord with the string on it, or the mic with the string on it connected to my phone. And when I was recording, the mic on the wire almost hit the chainsaw chain, and it scared me because I didn't want that thing to pull and rip and everything like that. So I'm looking into investing into a wireless mic. So the money that you guys donate goes back to a good cause. Like I said, channel development, channel growth. So we appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. I'm just very blessed for this kind of community, Tyler says, you have made me some good money by boosting my confidence with my small engine hobby. Watched some of your videos and said, I'm going to put myself out there, and business is great. Man, Tyler, that kind of wordage that you say is so helpful to me, and it encourages me to continue to do what I do. And I think it goes back to a lot of creators that put out content. They love the positive feedback like you guys are giving me. And I just think the positive feedback that you guys give is just so encouraging. It just makes us continue to do what we do on a daily basis. You know, without you guys, it's hard to grow a channel. So again, we appreciate the kind words that you guys say and giving us positive feedback. So let's see. David Blonsky asks, does having a boneyard or a bin of used parts give you a better chance to make your small engine repair business successful? David, not yes and no. The reason it won't is because like having a boneyard just gives you access to spare parts or used parts, right? So technically it can if you are handing those boneyard parts out or selling them for half price. It depends on which way you want to go. But if you want to give out free parts to your clientele, maybe that will build a closer bond, closer relationship with that customer, and they'll kind of trust you more and want to bring you more machines to fix because they know for a fact that they can trust you and you're a nice guy because you hand out, you do handout, not really you do handouts, but have used parts laying around and they can get a good deal from you maybe. But I feel like, sorry, I had to reread that. I got cut off, but having a boneyard, I think, is great when you really need used parts. When the customer doesn't want to pay, $100 for an engine sump cover, and you have that engine laying around, you can just take that sump cover off and tell the client, hey, I can, sell it to you for, 50 to 75% off because it's a used part. So he'll enjoy that. He'll appreciate that. And maybe, spread the word that, kind of what we talked about. So he'll spread your word and maybe draw you more clients your way. So in a way, yeah, it can. And so hopefully that answered your question. Chris Owen asks, I've been watching Terrell Fixes All fuel additive segments. Any thoughts or opinions on fuel stabilizer? I always recommend you guys, if you can get it, if only you can get it, get ethanol-free fuel, and you won't have to use a fuel stabilizer. You won't have to waste your money on fuel stabilizers. Now, me personally, I use fuel stabilizer. Actually, let me clear that up. If I installed a new carburetor or added or cleaned a carburetor on a customer's machine, and obviously I removed fuel, and you should remove all the fuel from any of your clients' machines. It don't matter. Don't ever trust the client's fuel. I mean, just don't trust. Even if he says, I just got it out of the pump, it don't matter. Just remove it and don't reuse it. Just dump it. But I always recommend you guys to get ethanol free if you can get it. If you can't, and your only option is, a high graded like 91 or 87 or whatever pump gas, then I would recommend Seafoam or K100, which I've never tried, honestly, but I've seen some positive results where it, dissolves the water and everything like that. But I always run Seafoam in my repair shop, and I don't know for a fact, but I know that for somehow, some reason, I had a surging carburetor, or actually, no, it was a machine that wouldn't run. And what happened was I added Seafoam to it just out of curiosity, pulled it a few times, and it started, but it surged. So that was one. So I left it over the day, and then I came back to it the next day, and guess what? I started it, and it ran great. I don't know how it does that. I don't know how Seafoam does that, but with my experience with Seafoam, it worked well. It cleared out whatever the clogging was in the carburetor. So I don't know how it did that, but I've always had good luck with Seafoam, and I kind of stayed to it. I don't recommend Stable. I know a lot of people, clients buy Stable and just dump the whole thing into their gas tank, which you're not supposed to do. And then that Stable turns into gunk, and it just causes more havoc in the carburetor. So I wouldn't recommend Stable. I'd always recommend Seafoam because you can add as much Seafoam as you want into your gas tank, and it won't harm as long as I know, it won't harm your gas tank, your gaskets, your fuel system, or anything like that, or your engine. So yeah, that's my opinions on Seafoam. And I've been watching Terrell's segments. It's not like I've been ignoring it, but I have seen some machines on it, and a lot of people are very opinionated on Seafoam. So yeah, hopefully that answered that question. Bob the Builder 01, welcome. I don't know if I've ever seen you on here, but we appreciate you joining. Hi, Phil. He says, have you ever purchased parts from Stens? I was just wondering if you had any feedback. No, I have not purchased from Stens. Even working at the hardware store that I worked at, we would never use Stens as our parts distributor for a parts distributor. I always go through Briggs and Stratton or Power Distributors for my Briggs and Stratton and organ parts. And I've never purchased from Stens. I've heard that Stens is almost as similar as Rotary, which I do have an account with them. And I recently got an account with Rotary, not Stens, but I believe they're about the same thing. I mean, you can just get dealer, prices or discounted prices on aftermarket parts. So, don't really know a good answer for Stens. I mean, I've heard of their, from other people, they're a good company, and they never have any, issues or problems with shipping or anything like that. But no feedback from me, unfortunately. Just what other people have told me. Dave Blonsky says you can buy a lot of that stuff on eBay. Stens has good parts. Hey, Rayleigh, small engine, welcome. Mix Mowers, how are you doing, my friend? You know what I'm smiling at. It's funny. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we appreciate it, Tyler. Thank you. John, sorry. That's right. It's John, not Tyler. Okay. Yeah, Terry Baker says Stens is pretty good. Buy some supplies from them a lot. Oh, okay. Matt Small Engine says, how do you set up a microphone for recording on your phone? Also, would you recommend a brand of a microphone? So I'll be honest with you. The microphone I was talking about using for my recordings was a cheapo from Amazon. It was $19.99. It connects there's like a USB Type-C to 3.5 millimeter adapter that I bought, and also just a microphone that plugs into that 3.5 millimeter jack, and I clip it onto my collar of the shirt or whatever I'm wearing. And I don't like that. I don't like the cord. So I'm going to be looking at I think Mick has a very good microphone. I forgot the brand name, but it is a wireless. Yes, Rode Wireless. Thank you, Mick. It's a Rode Wireless microphone. I'm going to be looking into getting one of those because I just can't stand that cord and the distance that, you can only so far travel with it. So I'm going to be looking at a wireless mic just for the sake of, getting higher quality recordings and not carrying that wire around. So, sorry, I hid your question already, Matt. How do you set up a microphone? Kind of what I was talking about, the 3.5 to USB Type-C goes into my phone. I have a Samsung Galaxy S20, so I have a USB Type-C port, and the microphone I got just had a 3.5 millimeter jack, so I had to get an adapter for it. Oh, here we go. Ben Dean, which aftermarket supplier do you prefer, Rotary, Stens, or Oregon? I always like Oregon for my aftermarket parts, unless I'm going for aftermarket parts. If you guys know what I'm talking about, really cheap Chinese aftermarket parts, then Amazon. But if Oregon, Stens, and Rotary won't sell you carburetors for $15-20, I mean, they're going to be good aftermarket parts, but you're going to be looking at $35 to $40 for a carburetor, depending on what you buy. So I always choose Oregon, that just because I have a Power Distributors account that that stocks Oregon parts. So I get plugs from them. I get carburetors from them, gaskets and fuel line and everything of that sort. So let's see who else we got on here. Does anybody else have any questions regarding small engine repair or small engine business? Tom with Schaefer's Lawn Garden and Power Sports Repair says, do you go pick up that Craftsman on the side of the road? No, I did not. And if you guys don't know what he's talking about, we do have that Facebook group going. And if one of our moderators wanted to throw a link up there, you can. But I did not pick up that Craftsman. I was still debating if there was going to be, if someone's going to go and buy it. But for me, it was about a 25-minute drive there and a 25-minute drive back. So I just didn't want to take that risk of showing up there and the thing having no parts or having a blown motor or whatnot. And then again, there was no contact information, so I couldn't contact that person if that mower was there or not. But I just didn't want to take my chances. and it was junky looking anyways. So I'm looking for, you know, newer equipment kind of that I can refurbish and sell for somewhat of a good profit. But yep, nope, did not pick up that Craftsman riding mower, unfortunately. JD Small Engine says K100 is great. Yeah, I have yet to use it. Mowers and Blowers Outdone says, what about Seafoam in 2 cycles? Yep, you can use it in your 2 cycles. Seafoam is a great product, 2 and 4 cycle. Yeah, Tyler Raymond says Seafoam is magic. Oh, Steven says K100 is the worst of his additive so far. Was that on Terrell's stream, I'm guessing? Wow. Okay. Double wide 6 Bob. He says, hey guys, just got 26 inches of snow here. I've been super busy plowing and servicing. Now all the machines with broken belts and augers are coming in. Right on, Bob, man. You are staying busy over there. I wish we got some of that snow, but unfortunately we don't have any snow. I don't know why, but we got a little bit of snow. We got a little bit of snow, I'd say probably last week, and that was about it. So I think you guys got the heavy downfall of it over there where you're at. But yeah, that sure enough will keep you busy, especially if, you know, and those customers that, you know, haven't started their machine for the whole year and they just go to start it up, and obviously they use pump gas and carburetors need to be cleaned. Let's see who else is on here. Oh, Matt, sorry. I think you posted that question. Oh, okay. So if you have a question, go ahead and leave it in the chat and I will get to it. You don't have to post it twice because I'm just going through the feed and I'm trying to answer all the questions. I'm not skipping over. So if you have a question, just post it and just sit back and relax and wait until I get to you. So no need to ask twice. I've had like people ask me 10 times and I'm like rereading the question and I'm like, wait, this has been posted many times. But yeah, Matt, to answer your question again, yeah, just look up Amazon microphones for your type of phone. Let's see. Oh, okay. Tyler asks one more question here. Do you have any hacks or anything for getting larger snowblowers off the ground so you don't have to be on your knees all the time? I know they sell expensive lifts, but no. I have a stool that I bought from Harbor Freight. It's just one of those hydraulic round stools, and I sit on it when I do snowblowers. The reason being why I don't have a lift is, or a table lift or one of those dolly lifts. I went to Harbor Freight to buy one, 500 pound. Took it home, wouldn't pump at all. I mean, it wouldn't pump. I don't know. I filled it with hydraulic oil like it told me to, did the whole bleeding system, and it didn't work. So I went back, returned it. I come back and I unwrapped the second one. This time I bought 1,000 pound cart, right, from Harbor Freight. This one didn't want to pump either. I mean, I was just having the worst nightmare. There's oil everywhere. I wasn't having a good day. And it was like a 25, 30 minute drive there and then 25-minute drive back. And I did that twice. And I was kind of, what is the word? Well, I didn't have a good time with Harbor Freight carts. It just wasn't my day. Didn't get lucky with a good one. So unfortunately had to return both of them. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to be repairing all of my machines either on the floor, or if I can get it on a table, I will get it on a work table. So I don't really, have any hacks for you, Tyler. I just work on them on the ground. So let's see. Yeah, we're talking about the Rode microphones. Yeah, they're really nice. I want to get one. They're very expensive, but I don't think that it matters if you do this for a living. If you create content for a living, I think you should invest into some high quality equipment, video equipment and audio equipment. So David Blonsky asks, is there a standard percentage markup that you charge your customers, or is it part by part? Yeah. So David, I charge anywhere usually I charge 30% for any type of part, whether that be a spark plug or or an engine that I'm installing. I usually charge 30%. That's just me. That's just my markup. And I know you can fluctuate. You can do 10%. You can do 50%. It doesn't matter. So like you said, part by part. Some people charge, depending on what it is. I just like to keep everything so simple. 30%, that's just what I'm charging. And it don't matter what kind of part it is, it's just going to be a 30% markup. So keep it simple. Don't try to cause havoc in your own mind. Don't try to make things complicated. Just pick a number. Well, don't pick like 100% or something like wild like that, but I picked 30% and it's been working for me in my business. So it just I get profit from it. I've been watching my numbers and I can get profit from 30%. So it might not work for some people. Some people might have to charge 50%. So it's up to them. But and it also depends on how. Well, no, let's just not get into that. So other than mowers, Terry Baker asks, other than mowers, do you work on things like generators? Yes, I do. I'm not specifically, and hopefully this was a question to me and not mixed mowers, but yeah, I work on any 2 and 4 stroke machine. So anything with a 2 and 4 stroke. I will not touch diesels. I will not touch huge tractors. They will not fit into my garage. So anything 2 and 4 stroke will, is fine for me. Steve, we appreciate you again, man, with a $5 super chat. You're just having a good time on here, Steve. We appreciate it, man. It says, check me out, Mick. My super chats work now. That might be a challenge for Mick. I don't know. We'll see. But we appreciate you, Steve. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. So Tyler, he says, your video today was spot on. Loved it. Definitely need more day in the life type of video vlogs. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was fun. I didn't know what your guys' reaction would be. I'm not sure. I got positive feedback from it, so I guess it was spot on. But I enjoyed your guys' feedback. It was fun to make. It was kind of funny. I thought it was cringy. I mean, that's just me when I look back at it. But I really want to make a part 2 of that, and I really want to make a mechanics having a good day, and you guys stay tuned for that. So yeah, mechanics having a good day. I think that'll be a great little follow-up with that. But part 2 is going to be coming out, I don't know when, but maybe in a few months or something like that. Oh man, Tyler, we appreciate another $4.99 super chat, man. You guys are killing me over here. I can't thank you guys enough for donating, leaving your super chats. So it's really, it inspires me to just continue on with what I do. You guys, without you, I don't think I'd be doing this, so, oh man. And David Blonsky as well, $4.99 super chat. Thanks for the advice. You guys are amazing. I mean, I didn't think that, this would actually happen, but you guys just helping me out, helping the channel growth out. And again, all this money, all the proceeds that you guys donate go back to just creating better content and upgrading our equipment, just like the microphone. So, man, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Cody Emmons 12 says, hey, Steve. Cody, thank you for joining. KB Small Engine Repair is in the house saying, what's up, everybody? Edward Burke is here as well. He says, hi, Phil, and all in the chat. Oh, yeah. Matt says, yeah, up here in Canada, we got a few centimeters last 2 hours. That's great. Mowers and Blowers says, we got about 2 inches of snow in Michigan. It is Rich. Oh, let you guys know my name. Oh, Rich. Okay, Rich. Let's see. Yeah, Samsung Galaxy A5 says Matt. I'm not sure what kind of adapter you have on it, though. So you'll have to type that into Amazon, just see what kind of outcome you'll get. So let's see. I'm going down. Sorry, guys. I'm super delayed on the comments. I'm just going down the list just to make sure that none of the questions get missed. So, let's see. Tom asks, what tool do you prefer to use for sharpening blades? I prefer an angle grinder. Just curious on other preferences. So I use an angle grinder as well. I just use I think it's a 40 grit stone on it. And I just use that to sharpen my blades. And then I use an Oregon, it's not it's an Oregon lookalike type of blade balancer that I use to balance and check to make sure that the blade isn't bent or anything like that. But I use an angle grinder. It's just so much easier to do. I had a Harbor Freight Central Pneumatic or something like that, a bench table grinder, and that thing would not want to start for some reason. I think the switch might have went out, and I could have took it back and warranted it, but I just gave it to a guy that works on electrical. I said, you can have it. He was buying something from me anyway, so I just kind of gave it to him. But I really want to get a table grinder as well. And I know I know how to work the wheel with the table grinder, especially when doing mulching blades. I know it's kind of hard because you got that hump on there, so you have to actually work your way around the blade when you use a table grinder. And if you use a regular angle grinder, then it's kind of easier with the mulching blade. So they kind of have their ups and downs both. Cody Emmons asks, what kind of webcam do you use for these streams? So the webcam I have is like a $60 or $65 camera from Amazon. All I did was type in, I believe I typed in like 1080p webcam camera on Amazon, and I looked at the reviews, and one of them was like, had like 4.8 stars with a lot of reviews. So I just went with it because people said it was nice. So, Cody, if you want a link, go ahead and send me an email and I'll send you a link to the webcam if you really like to. Let me know in the chat. Let's see. Tyler, we'll throw you up here. He says, have had 3 customers in a week where they bought from Home Depot / Lowe's versus a small engine shop and now have no start conditions. Even with proper storage and okay gas, any reason for this? I bet you 100% they did not store it properly. I bet you 100%. Because if they store it, even if you store it properly, a year goes by. I mean, okay, gas lasts for about 3 to 6 months. Like fresh gas will last 3 to 6 months, and then it can start to deteriorate. So even with proper storage, it doesn't matter if they stored it for a year, the thing won't start. I mean, it'll more than likely have a clogged carburetor. So all it is just it'll need a carburetor clean, and you can have the customer on their way, after a carb clean. Really easy to do. But I think it all depends on how long they actually stored it and how often they started it. If they started it every month and then for some reason that following month when they needed it, it didn't work, then I don't know, maybe it was just that time when that gas just said, no, you know what, I'm not going to start for you. But always change out the gas. I always store my equipment with ethanol-free fuel because ethanol-free fuel lasts about 6 months. And I've honestly have had my equipment sit for about 5 to 6 months before I start it in the springtime, like my zero turns, and they start right up. I do no treatment at all as far as like seafoam or anything like that, or stable. It's just ethanol-free fuel, and it'll start right up for you after 6 months, as at least it does for me. But ethanol-free is just the way to go. I mean, if we're talking about fuel. No, Tyler, we appreciate your questions, man. You don't have to be done. The more questions, the better. Cody Emmons asks, have you tried Icon tools from Harbor Freight? Sorry if I'm annoying you. No, okay. You guys are not annoying me with questions. I love answering your guys' questions. I do not like to go to reference the questions that I have viewer submitted questions, because I will pull them up if there are no more questions. I will pull up those viewer submitted questions and they're boring. I mean, I already answered them. I don't like to answer questions twice. I mean, I obviously will answer your guys' questions, even if it's a repeat from other streams or of questions that people always ask me, I'll still answer them. But the ones that I did already, they kind of bore me. But the more questions, the better, guys. We appreciate it. Have I tried Icon tools? No, I have not. I've been curious, but I have so many tools in my toolbox, there's kind of no need. I mean, I'd be losing money if I'm going to be investing into tools. I have all the tools that I need to repair any type of equipment. So for me, it's just not even worth going and buying more tools because I already have one of everything, basically. So I think the coolest tool collection comes from KB Small Engine Repair. He's got some crazy tools. Snap Online, Matco, Mac Line. I believe Matco, not Mac, but I could be wrong. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. CNL Small Engine Repair. Carl, thank you for joining. Old Man from Eliminator Performance, Wayne, man, we appreciate you joining on here. Thank you so much. We'll throw your comment on here. He said, the Old Man from Eliminator Performance, Small Engine Repair in Canada. We have been using K100S Plus for going on 10 years now, and always with ethanol-free fuel, and everything fires right up. Yeah. So same thing with me, except I use Seafoam for my with ethanol-free fuel if I have to. So I want to get K100S or K100. I want to get that product and try it out, but I haven't come across it yet in any of our automotive shops. Let's see, a Facebook user. So we are streaming on Facebook. If you guys didn't know, we are streaming on Facebook as well as YouTube. It's Facebook user, don't know the name, says, "What's the weirdest thing you've been asked to work on? I have a fella who wants me to fix his RC car." That's funny. The weirdest thing I have been asked to work on, and I've actually fixed, was a shredder. Yeah, a shredder, just a paper shredder. What this customer did was, for some reason, he was shredding an envelope and he had a nickel in there, and that nickel got Wow. I don't not know what just happened. I think my brother was right. He said he said Wi-Fi went out. I think that's just what happened. Sorry guys. Sorry for that delay. Uh, Hopefully it doesn't go out again. We are connected to Ethernet, but I think we might have had a power surge or something. But for some reason, my computer wanted to restart. So we apologize for that inconvenience, but thank you for being loyal and staying on and not signing off. But going back to that question with the weirdest thing that you worked on, yeah, it was a paper shredder, and the guy had a nickel stuck into it. He brought it to me and he said, "Hey, I don't know if you worked on this or not, but could you fix this for me? I don't know what's stuck. Something stuck in it." So I went ahead and fixed it for him, and charged him my labor rate and everything like that. So everyone was happy. So yeah, that's probably the weirdest thing I've ever been asked to work on. I guess you can call it weird. I don't know. Rich asks, "Do you stock a lot of parts, or do you just run out and get parts locally, or wait for them to get shipped to you?" So yeah, I do stock a lot of parts, a lot of parts that I see coming across my shop all the time, or machines coming across with the parts and the air filters. I always stock a lot of oil, a lot of spark plugs, the most common spark plugs, and a lot of different things. It depends on where you live and what kind of machines you're getting on a daily basis or weekly basis, however. So it all depends. Before you do like a stock up order, you kind of have to know what's in your market, what kind of machines you'll be seeing in your shop, and then go from there. But you always will need oil, spark plugs, air filters, fuel shutoffs, gaskets, rebuild kits. So think of the most common parts. Also like fuel line, string or pull cord. You kind of have to have different sizes, different thicknesses, and everything like that. So those are the kind of the parts that I stock, but generally I don't stock anything that I know for a fact won't sell in a month. So, or actually, I shouldn't say that. I'll try to order the parts that will sell in a month, but sometimes they'll oversee that and go to 2 or 3 months, and then I'll sell them. But nothing that's going to sit on the shelf for more than a year, that's for sure. It's my little brother right there, Muska. I don't know why he named himself Muska, but thanks, Dan, for joining on here. We appreciate it. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're talking about having a great day or a good day. JD says a great day is when a big job is done and customer hands you a check. And my number one thing for having a great day is when a customer tips you as well. That would be amazing. Those are rare occurrences. In the lawn care business, I always get tipped. But in small engine repair, I hardly ever get tipped. But sometimes people just like to round out and pay cash. So instead of them paying you $91.50, they'll just give you $100 and just say, keep it, But I love those tips. I love those clients. And that's when you have a good day. When you get tipped, you're like, having a good day. Definitely don't want to have a bad day. But yeah, let's see. My brother asks, what is one thing you enjoy about doing your work? Well, first of all, I enjoy just getting to see the machine being fixed, repaired. So a machine that doesn't run and turning into a running machine, just seeing it work and operate smoothly. I love that. That's just one thing. It's like a satisfying feeling when you get to work on a non-running machine or rebuilding an engine in that case, and then seeing it firing up for the first time after rebuild. It sounds great. It's spot on. It's ready to be sold or paid for by the client or picked up by the client. I just love seeing that satisfactory rebuild or start or whatever you want to call it. But David says, you're great. You're a very good person. Keep it up. Thank you, David. We appreciate your kind feedback, man. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being a very humble person yourself, man. Carl with CNL says, busy as in one arm, paper hanger here. Hope you're staying busy. Yeah, we're staying busy as well. Trying to stay as busy as we can. So how you doing, Slow Poke? Good evening to you as well. Dr. LMBS or LMSB 445 says, I use a bench grinder. I think we were using we're talking about how to sharpen lawnmower blades, what the best technique is. So he uses a bench grinder. And Mick says he uses a flappy disc, which I wanted to get, but for some reason, flappy discs are more expensive than stones. I don't know why. In the stores that I go to buy them, the flappy discs are always more expensive than the stones. I've never tried a flappy disc, so I want to try it and see what kind of results I get. But I've always used stones. Steelman 4 says, I bought a lift like what Bruce Bender uses. It only lifts up to 300 pounds, and I've had up to a 13-horse snowblower on it. I've been using it for about 5 years now and wish I had bought it 15 years ago. Yeah, if I can find a table cart or table lift that will actually work, not the one from Harbor Freight, I'm never buying those again, but one that'll actually work, then I will be more than satisfied to pay up to $500 for one. That's just me, because it'll save my back in the future. I know for a fact. Everybody's saying flappy discs work well, so I'll have to try it out. I want to really try out flappy discs. Steve says, I just take my blade over to double wide 6 and he does it for me. That's great. That's a long drive to Bob's shop. JD says customer is not always right. Yeah, if you want to turn that into a question or something, I'd like to talk about that. But I mean, yeah, that's true. A customer can think that they're right, but sometimes they're not. Especially when they try to tell you that this thing ran like last week, and then you look at the gas and it's just stale and nasty and smells like varnish. No, you did not have this running last week. Okay. Eliminator Performance. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It's a Canadian $5, and we appreciate you as well tuning in. Thank you for the $5. He says, cheers from Eliminator Performance. And if you guys haven't checked that channel out, go ahead and do so. After this live, you guys can check out Eliminator Performance. That guy's got some crazy videos on there. I do follow you, just letting you know. I'm watching your videos. The recent one was a pulley, but I really like the deck restoration that you did. I think it was one of your more popular videos. So thank you for that $5 super chat again. I'm going back up. Sorry. I'm going up to the questions that were like 10 minutes ago or something. So sorry if I'm not getting to your questions right away. There's so many of them, but I appreciate it, man. The more questions, the better. We're at 46 minutes. So sooner or later, I will have to send out the link for the people that want to join as guests. So I'll have that link set out, but we still will answer the questions just with other people. But that's just kind of how it goes around here on the Small Engine Nation Live. The first hour is always me answering questions. The second hour is with guests. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. And I don't know who's going to be on the guests. I'm going to send out the link, and whoever wants to join on, as long as you be obedient, follow the rules, and just be nice and welcoming. We'll more than likely just keep you on. If you go and start doing something weird or something that I don't approve, I'll kick you out. It's just, those are the rules. Let's see. Let's go down to, okay, Jake Ohl says, what do you think of leasing mowers? I'm a repair shop. I don't rent out any equipment. So leasing mowers is just not me. Usually if you lease out a mower, they'll bring it back to you trashed, especially if you lease out chainsaws. They'll come back just completely trashed. And I learned that the hard way by working at a repair shop, and we did rent out equipment. We started renting out a chainsaw, and every time it was rented out, it would just come back trashed. So we stopped renting chainsaws because, we had a hard time just, we charged the client, but we'd also have to fix it. And we'd be so swamped with customer equipment that we had no time to fix our machines that we rented out. So JD Mobile's Fallen says, do you use torch tip cleaners? No, I do not. I have like a set of what you would call torch tip cleaners, and actually not torch tip cleaners, but I have a set of something similar that I use to clean out carburetors with, like loose wire, different types of gauged wire that will actually fit into the emulsion tube holes and everything like that. So different types of wire, different gauges I always keep around in my specialty tool drawer. Matt Swallen just says, what is the best way to store equipment in the winter? So if you're storing your snowblower over the season, then I recommend just try to buy ethanol-free fuel, adding it to your tank, about 3/4 tank, starting it, letting it run for 10 minutes or so. You can even add a little bit of seafoam. You don't have to. You can add a little bit of seafoam, let it circulate through your system for about 10 minutes. You can store it away, no problems. Now, one thing that I want to recommend is if you store your equipment with gas in it, you got to be careful because you never know when a seal might break. You just never know. Usually it doesn't happen, but you never know when a seal might break and all of your gas might float into your engine or on the bottom of the ground. If you store it in a garage, then it's just going to go all over your floor. You're going to smell it. It's going to stink. So sometimes it's not the best way to store equipment with fuel in it. That's just the way I do it, and that's the way it's been working for me. I always store my equipment with about 3/4 tank of ethanol-free fuel. Let's see. Dr. LMSB. I don't know your name. I'm sorry. I'll just call you Doc. He says, do you have heating systems in your shop? So I just have a regular 80,000 BTU heater that I bought from Home Depot for about $100. It's just a propane heater that I use, and I use it safely. I do have a sensor or a detector, and I also I just leave the garage door open just a little bit so it kind of recirculates the air and everything like that. So check out KB Small Engine Repair Shop. He has a great video on how to heat up a shop. So check his video out. I don't have a heater mounted. I do want to get that, maybe sooner or later. I don't know, but they're kind of expensive, kind of pricey, but it definitely won't hurt to invest something into that. 42 viewers, man, guys, we appreciate it. Only 29 likes. Go ahead and leave that like button or hit the like button if you haven't already. But 42 viewers, man. We appreciate you guys jumping on here. Thank you so much. Let's continue on. We got 10 more minutes and then I'll send out the link. Be Happy asks, how much would you pay for a non-running Homelite XL12 chainsaw if you plan to repair and flip it? Okay, I don't know what a Homelite XL12 chainsaw is, but let me type it in. XL12 chainsaw. I've never seen one, so let's do a quick Google search. Okay, looks like a very old saw, produced in 1964. Wow. Okay. Old saws like that go for a lot of money. I know for a fact. Okay, if you try to, especially if it's restored and rebuilt, I don't know the answer to that question, but I would post it for $300 or $400. I don't know. I'm just kind of swinging numbers right now. If anybody else wants to answer that question, you can go ahead and do so. The answer would be Happy's question there. What would you pay for a non-running Homelite saw, and then also what would you sell it for? I guess there would be a kind of a great follow-up question there too. David Blonsky says you can never have enough tools. That's true. That's true. But I'm satisfied where I'm at right now. But if something catches my eye, I'll maybe buy it, consider buying it. But there's a lot of Milwaukee battery operated tools that I want that I don't have the budget for right now. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be spending a lot of money on tools currently. It is the slow season. I got to kind of stock up on my cash reserves right now. So, yeah, he said, Matt says, right now I do not have a shop. I do store my equipment in the shed in my backyard. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just make sure they're covered. Throw a tarp on there. If you have to store it outside, throw a tarp over it. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. Here's where my Wi-Fi went out at around 4:37. So, yeah, Jungle Bob, no worries on the Icon driver set. It's working good. That's good to hear. I'm glad that it's working good for you. Let's see. Larry Lemire says, hello, Phil. Thanks for the help. No worries, Larry. I think I did talk to you on the phone yesterday. I appreciate you joining on here as well. We will have a link out in about 7 minutes. So, okay. So Mower Medic asking me some really challenging questions. Says, what's the crank to sump clearances on the FX 1000 Kawasaki tool? I have no idea. Jeremy. And if anybody knows the answer to this crazy question, you can go ahead and leave your answer in the chat. I have no idea. I've never worked on a FX 1000. I've worked on FR 691s, but never an FX 1000. That's a nice commercial engine. Let's see. Okay, so Be Happy says, I've been offered 6 complete working Homelite XL12 chainsaws for $300, but have to drive 3 hours round trip to pick them up. Bad deal. Well, if you want to make the drive, then go ahead. I think it's a great deal if you can get 6 of them completely working Homelites for $300, and then just kind of restore them in a way of what you would call restoration, and then go ahead and flip them for $200 to $300 or $150 to $200 a pop. I guess you could make some good profit if you're willing to drive 3 days round trip for the saws. So, let's see. Tom says Homelite XL12s are sweet, but that's a hefty price. I think it's a great deal, but that's just me. I don't know. Yeah. Steve says, yeah, sorry, that was on his channel. Was just was not trying to be rude. But plugging. Oh, okay. Let's see. All right, I'm going down. Okay, so Tom has a question. Tom Quinlan says, jumping on late. Sorry if you already covered this. Any tips for DIY wanting to tinker with fixing some stuff, rototiller around the house? Book or video recommendations? So Tom, if you want to start tinkering with engines, I wouldn't really recommend a book. I don't read books, me personally. I'm not the guy that reads a book and figures out how to repair the machine. I'm more of a visual learner, so I like to watch videos. a lot of channels out there that have tons of videos. Donnie Boy 73 has a very good channel, and he's got over 1,000 videos on many kinds of repairs that he's done throughout the years. I think he's been on YouTube for about 12 years, very long time. He's got tons of videos on different types of equipment that he repairs. Same with Steve Small Engine Saloon. He's got a lot of videos, different categories in his playlist. You can check out both of those channels. They have quite a lot of bit of content, and I even sometimes reference back to those videos in order to gain knowledge, gain information for my type of repair. So yes, I personally do watch different YouTube videos on how to repair equipment myself when I'm stuck in a pickle and not knowing how to repair the machine. So yeah, definitely check out those two channels, and you'll be glad to do so, because there's just so much information regarding small engine repair and how to fix machines, videos on those topics. So yeah, let's go down. Let's see. Les Breen says, love these live streams. Well, thank you for joining. We appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, I'm almost getting to the bottom, and then I'll throw the link. So hopefully I'm catching up here. Okay, Slowpoke says Harbor Freight has floppy disks on sale, sometimes about $3 to $4. Well, that's a good deal. Let's see. Whoa. Okay, Cody Emmons says, the other day I saw a gas cobalt mower and it gave me nightmares, but it was also kind of cool. I think the design would be nice. I've never seen a gas-powered cobalt mower. What kind of engine did it have, if you don't mind me asking? Let's see. Tom asks, do you do any welding? I used to. Back when I worked in the other shop, I did a lot of welding. Now that I'm in my own shop, I don't have any welding equipment. I really want to go buy a Lincoln. It's like a 120 or something like that, but it's just a great welder, a starter welder. I think they retail for about $300 or $400. Don't quote me on that, but Home Depot has them, and I think that's a very good welder. I did check out Harbor Freight's welders. I'm just not too certain on them. I like my Lincoln Electric welders, and I probably am going to be getting one. I don't know when, but I don't do much welding around in the shop that I work, or in my own shop. But at the shop that I used to work at, yeah, we did a lot of welding for different type of clients and personal welding and everything like that. So, Rich asks, do you sharpen chainsaw blades? Chainsaw chain, probably. What's the price? So $8 $8 off the machine, $12 on the machine, and that price is probably bumping up. It depends on, I really want to increase that price, because I think that I don't want to increase it too much, because then it wouldn't make sense for a client to pay $20 to have their chain sharpened, right? Because they can just go and for $24 buy a brand new chain, or even $20 buy a brand new chain. So sometimes it's not even worth sharpening a chain for a customer, unless that chain is really expensive. There are some expensive chains, but majority of the chains that come into my shop are just residential, your MS 170 3/8 1/4 inch Pico or 3/8 chain that you could see on a regular basis. And they valued at $24, $25. So I don't want to. I wish I could sell a new chain to the client, but sometimes if your prices are way too high, it's just better off just to buy another chain instead of having it sharpened. So you kind of have to work with your own prices a bit, and see what works for you. Kind of look at. You can maybe just have one price and go off of that. So on the machine, off the machine, have separate prices for that. Dan asks, my brother asks, what stock did I buy? I'll tell you about it when I go visit your house later. It says, Steelman says, be happy. I would be all over those saws. I think that's a great deal too. 3 hours round trip, no problem. Go get them. Yeah, hit the like button if you guys, that would be really, I'd really appreciate if you guys hit the like button. It always helps out. Mark Wiley, thank you for joining on here as well. Okay, it's past the hour. I'm going to be sending out the link right now. And if anybody wants to join, I'm still going to be answering your questions. So keep the questions coming. But this is the hour where I will send out the link, and whoever wants to join can do so. Okay, the link is posted. I'm going to go ahead and pin it. And I'll be watching in my basement to see who jumps on here. Again, just don't get on here and be foolish. You will get kicked. You will be banned from the channel. We don't tolerate, horseplay around here. So just, be professional. I feel like the way you present yourself to other people also shows you what kind of person you are. So, I haven't had any problems with any trolls or anything like that, but I will watch out and have my moderators on here as well. So just be kind and courageous. Let's see. Oh yeah, Rich, I think I already answered your second question. Sorry for not throwing it up on here. Oh yeah, Steven asks Buckin' Billy Ray. All right, my brother is joining on here.
So, what's up?
Are you on? Okay, there you are. Let me change the view. Those of you that didn't know, this is my brother Daniel.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself. Let everybody know what you do. I know you obviously are still young, in your young years, but what do you want to be when you grow up, and what do you want to do? Do you have any careers that you want to jump on, or anything that you're going after, or what?
I don't know. I just like working with computers. Computers are really fun to work with, and I don't know. I'd like to go into computer science. That would be pretty fun. So something into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
How you doing, Stuart?
Great. How are you?
Good, man. I'm glad that you joined on here. And we appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been following you and checking out your videos. I think it's great what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. We appreciate your kind feedback as well. If you guys ever have to get off, just let me know. You can also click the mute button and stop camera if you ever have to leave somewhere, or if there's a noise disturbance or anything like that, just hit the stop cam and mute, and then you can jump back on if you'd like. So just letting you guys know on here. We're going to be going down. We're trying to answer as many questions as we can still. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Let's see. Oh, Tim Freeman asks, do you do any full rebuilds on chainsaws? No, because I have a guy that I kind of have not a deal with him, but he does my full rebuilds for me. So if I really have to, if it's for a close client, then I'll rebuild their engine. But I would rather sub that out to another mechanic, just a guy I know that will rebuild rebuild the chainsaw engines for me. He does an amazing job, better than I can ever do. So to answer your question there, yep. Dr. LMSB asks, what's your favorite tool brand? So my favorite tool brand, it depends on what you're talking about. I really like Milwaukee tools, the M12 line preferably, just because I love their little compact batteries. I have a lot of M12 and M18, but for battery operated power tools, I go with Milwaukee. So, what about you, Stuart? Do you have a favorite tool brand?
I don't. I'm kind of get the best that you can afford, and if you can afford better ones down the road, then get those. I just started out with just no name tools that I collected over the years.
Yeah. Like I've always told everybody, the brand of tools doesn't make you the money. It's just how fast you can pump out the machines in a matter of time. If you have a Snap-on line of tools, it doesn't make you a better mechanic, and doesn't make you any more money than it should. So,
no.
I work with Harbor Freight tools, and I love them. If it breaks, I just go to Harbor Freight and replace it. But I always feel like, if a tool breaks on you, if let's just say you're working on a tool or working on a machine, and the tool that you use the most keeps on breaking on you, well, then go ahead and upgrade to it another brand or a better brand. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's just how I always ran my operation. As far as tools, but even some Harbor Freight tools that I own right now are still running to this day. They're not giving me any problems. So I'm not saying that I've never had an issue with Harbor Freight tools, but which I had, but I'm just saying that, some of them are still fully functioning to this day. So, and it's probably the cheapest tool brand out there, but yeah.
Well, I think the shop I used to work at before I went out on my own, one of the mechanics, the guy that had been there the longest, he had a $16,000 Snap-on toolbox. He was paying for that every Thursday, every time the truck would roll around.
Mm-hmm.
So having great tools, you might find yourself in debt for a while. It takes a while to pay for that thing.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I don't see myself spending $16,000 on a toolbox. No way. It's stationary. All it does is sit there and collect dust. So, I don't know. That's why I have a Husky toolbox. I mean, it's not the most expensive. It cost me about $1,000, but it's held well, and I find not needing to go and buy the next best toolbox out there, the most expensive Snap-on box that I can buy now. So let's see. JD's Mobile Small Engine Farm Repair says, do you service commercial fleets of equipment? So if you're talking about just, regular commercial equipment, yes, I do. I do service commercial equipment for, commercial companies or landscapers or anybody like that. But, zero turns, commercial chainsaws, trimmers, everything like that. Yeah, it's all included in the commercial or repairs that I do for commercial companies. All right, Tom, you take care. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining on here.
All right, Phil, I'm going to go too.
All right, Danny, take care, man. Thanks for joining. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye. Oh, Jimmy Pop says, was that Daniel that made a cameo on your video today, Phil? No, it wasn't. That was all me. So I didn't have anybody else on there. It was all me in the videos. So. Let's see. John Duff says, what do you guys recommend to an old retired guy thinking about small engines as a hobby shade tree business? Well, definitely as a hobby, you can get away with it. I mean, just, it all depends on how you structure your business and if you want to report and everything like that. But if you just want to do it as a side thing, side gig, hobby, I would recommend it 100%. If you really want to get into small engines, if you love working on them, I don't see a problem with you getting into it and being successful with it. So, what about you, Stuart? What would you say to John Duff? Any advice for like me? I'll be honest with you. I'm a younger guy, right? I'm a younger guy in this trade, and I'm sure you got some age over me, Stuart. So not calling you old, no way. But just letting you know, what advice would you give to John?
Well, if you're just going to do it for yourself and maybe family and some close friends, I don't see a problem with that. The other issue is the liability. I definitely wouldn't do it as a business or people that you didn't know, because if that blade or God forbid something happens and it slings off and hits their car, then you're putting yourself at risk. Now, if you're just doing it for your kids and close friends, well, then, learn and do it. But if you're exchanging money, you probably need to go ahead and get licensed, which don't take much in most states, and get some type of liability insurance.
Yeah.
This day and time, everybody is looking for, that quick buck sometimes.
Yeah, no, I agree. The reliability is just the key factor, you know. And I know a lot of guys that aren't licensed, they're not bonded, they don't have insurance, and they still take on work for clientele, you know. So let me get JD on here. Welcome, man. How you doing?
How you doing? I'm sitting in the truck just getting done for the night.
Oh yeah, getting off of work.
Oh, it's a good day job, and I run my business at night time. So
Yeah.
fun stuff.
Hectic, huh?
It's 10, 11 o'clock most nights.
Yeah. Yeah.
I service a fleet for a university too, so snowstorms are a must to go in, and I've been doing that for a few years.
Oh, how much? What kind of equipment are you fixing for them?
We got old Hustler 3700s, Kubota tractors, brooms, snowplow, salters, new RV Kubotas, all that fun side-by-side stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Let me throw. Okay. So Jet Ski Rehab has a question on here. I'll throw on. It says, are there service manual softwares available out there for small engine mechanics to use, or do you mainly figure it out? I've never come across any service manual softwares. There's a lot of service manuals out there online, different websites. Oh, we just lost JD. But there's a lot of manuals out there online that you can look up, parts for, diagrams. Generally, that's what I look into when I can't figure something out, or if I find a video on YouTube on how to repair the piece of equipment. But I never really looked into seeing if there were any softwares or not. So, oh, no worries. A Facebook user says, sorry I'm late. I'll definitely have to rewatch the first part. Yeah, no problem. We'll always have these on here. We don't delete them or anything like that. So, Rich says, around me, they charge $5 off to sharpen the chain. How long does it take to sharpen chain and tools needed for this? So you obviously need a chain sharpener. I mean, if you're using a file and the file method, it's going to take a while. If you have just a regular chain sharpener, I have one from Harbor Freight that I use, and it works great. I mean, it only does 3/4 inch chain and 325 chain, but it doesn't do your 1/4 inch 3/8 pico or 404 or anything like that. So it only does a certain type of chain. And that chain sharpener you can get at Harbor Freight for about $30, I believe, last time I checked. And you can charge anywhere from, like, the shop you said charges $5. I charge $8 off the machine, $12 on the machine because I have to take it off. So yeah, I mean, if you want to get into that, I would look into maybe starting out with a cheapo chain sharpener and going from there. You'll also need a flat file to sharpen your rakers as well. And that's just another $5 tool that you got to buy from any local hardware store, really. So.
I always just take them off the machine. It's a lot easier.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When the customer brings me a loose chain, I charge $8. But when he brings his chainsaw in, I regardless take the chain off, and but I have to manually take the chain off, and it's labor. It's not labor intensive, but it increased labor rate, right? It takes you longer to do, so that's why I charge $12 on the machine, because I have to take it off and put it back together and tighten it and test it and everything like that. So,
Well, though, I charge $7 and $10 for the chain. What do you charge for lawnmower blades?
Same thing, 8 and 12.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I got an impact. I mean, that blades right off of any machine. And it doesn't take me longer. Well, actually, it's much quicker just to do just to do a blade rather than a chain. Because with chains, it takes you an average of 5 to 10 minutes. With the blade, some blades take me like 2-3 minutes to sharpen, to balance, and everything like that. So, but I charge the same rate. I mean, like I talked before, a lot of these blades and chains cost right around the same price as if you were to mark up your sharpenings a high rate. So if you're charging $20 to sharpen a chain, while the customer can just go and buy a brand new chain for $20. There's no point of you charging $20. So you kind of have to undercut that and charge, $10 or something like that. So it's kind of reasonable. So they have a reason to get the chain sharpened instead of going and buy a new one. But let's see. Just looking for more questions here if anybody has any, but I think it's kind of died down, so should be good for just a chat. Brandon says, how old are you, Phil, and how long have you been doing small engine? So I'm 24, and I've been doing this for, I'd say, 4 to 5 years professionally. So, I mean, I've always loved working on engines when I was a kid, but professionally, I'd say probably 4 or 5 years. So, yeah. Okay, that's all the questions in the chat. Do you guys, Stuart and Jay, do you guys see the questions or in like the comments on the YouTube stream on StreamYard?
I don't. Not that I'm live with you now. Earlier, while I was watching, I could see all the questions, but I don't see. I'm new to this YouTube live thing, so I don't know if there's somewhere else I could go into to see it or not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might just have to throw them up here.
I jumped off the screen because I hit the chat button and it just threw me off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it brings you to StreamYard, and I guess you don't see the comments that people leave, but I'll try to throw them up here as well, just to kind of
how long
so
have
you
you
guys
been
can
doing
actually.
this for, Stuart?
I'm sorry, say again?
I said, how long have you been doing this for? Working on small engines?
Well, not very long professionally. I started back last year. I've been working on them. I'm 52, so throughout my life, I've worked on stuff of my own and learned a lot. And then this COVID hit, and I'd always planned in my later days to kind of retire and do this as a small business, but I kind of got flung into it a little earlier, and it's actually worked out quite well.
Yeah. Most of my services are mobile. I have a big shop at nighttime, but most of them are on site. And to be honest, since the COVID thing hit last year, that's why I ended up opening up a new business, because it was side job after side job after side job, and now it's making money. So.
Well, I first went to work for a larger shop, and that was a good experience also, because what that afforded me was to see a lot of different type of equipment, where I've been kind of, working on my stuff and my kids stuff. But yeah, working at that big shop, I mean, I got the gamut of from 2-stroke to 4-stroke to compact diesels. I just got a lot of experience in a short period of time, and that really helped out.
I started out in a golf course in upstate New York, and I was almost 15 years old and working on that stuff in my old man shop. And then I went and did other things after about 10 years of doing that. Worked on cars for a bunch of years, and I just decided I hate working on cars. Too much of a headache.
It's too much work.
No, it's not that it's too much work. It's just, it's not the same. When you do things for yourself, and then I have a shop where I have golf carts. I have 200-something golf carts. I got all kinds of other things that I maintain, tractors, anything from, weed eaters right up to big John Deeres. So, all ag equipment. It's all fun stuff.
My first customer actually asked me if I worked on, I'm kind of in a rural setting. I mean, I'm in Florida, but I'm outside of a big city. And I do lawnmowers and chainsaws mainly. But then people just, once they find out that you're open for business, you're talking about 4-wheelers, go-karts, and everybody has a Polaris 4x4, around here. So I've went right into that. And the only downfall to that is I'm a Briggs, parts dealer and Stens and Rotary and an Interstate battery dealer. But right now I'm having to pay, retail for Polaris and Yamaha, which means I don't quite make the same amount of profit on the parts.
New players, you also need to get into digital wrench too with them. It work on a laptop, and I work on a lot of new Polaris, and it's fun stuff to get into. It's pricey equipment, and plus they have to train you through a factory. I got licensed through a dealer in Ohio, even though I'm in Central Kentucky, and I use their program to get in with the dealerships. But it was just a part of a price of buying a bunch of equipment from them.
Right.
Through my day job, and I get the benefit using it whenever I need.
Yeah. Hey, JD, Jimmy, I don't know if you saw that question or not. I'll throw it up on here. So, JD, I'm thinking of starting a mobile business as well. Do you have any warnings or suggestions?
Get a comfortable truck. You're going to be doing a lot of driving.
Yeah.
I got a little truck, a little Ford Ranger with a camper top, but it's got a slide out bed. That's my workbench for small stuff. And make sure you got a spot to store your tools and have room for a trailer, because you're going to be dragging stuff back and forth. No matter what you say you can fix it on site, you're going to be bringing stuff back to the shop.
Yeah. Now, you have an enclosed trailer, right?
No, I have an open trailer.
Oh, open trailer. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it's a little truck, so and plus I do about 4,000 or 5,000 miles a month.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. Yeah.
But I also travel to pick up, so I think we messaged over doing a little flipping deal. So
Yeah.
Yeah. But
let me see.
all stuff is cake. Just carry your paperwork with you.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. LMSB says, what's the size of your shop? I'd say it's a 25. No, it's a 20 by 20. So it's not too big, but it's definitely bigger than, it's an upgrade from what I had last time. But honestly, just having a roof over your head when repairing small engines and having a heater in the wintertime is great. That's why I don't do mobile, because I understand if you have an enclosed trailer and you work inside the enclosed and you have a heater going, but for some reason I love working in the shop, because you're at home, you can walk to home and go have a snack and go rest. If you want to take your mind off of having if you're struggling on a repair, if you want to take your mind off of it, you can go and lay in your bed or couch and kind of study up on it, or just, disregard it and then get back into it, so you don't have to drive to the client. And then if you are having a problem or something like that, then, you have nowhere to go except your truck. So, or your trailer.
Well, that's changing for me soon, but I got a 60 by 80 that's just getting done. The electric was just ran in it last week and lighting put in it. Floor's done, and hopefully it changes. And hopefully I can keep more in there. Yeah.
William says, do y'all use 50-to-1 or 40-to-1 ratio in 2 cycles gas mix? I run steel full synthetic, and it's a 50-to-1 mix. So they say it makes 1 gallon, it's 50-to-1 mix, but that's what I use for oil, really. I want to convert to 40-to-1, but honestly, have you guys heard of Opti oil, like Opti 2 oil?
Don't do it. We have stuff at the university that we buy in a 55-gallon drum, and honestly, things run great for a little while, and then you're cleaning carbs up. The weed eaters, the steels don't like it as much as some of the other equipment.
Yeah.
I've heard of that Opti oil. I forget the name brand. I bought mine from Stens. It's a smokeless, all-in-one 2-cycle oil. Comes in packs well, it comes in any size, but I just bought it in the like 1.5 ounce packs. I
like
haven't had an issue with it.
Yeah, I think it might have been Opti. Or is it maybe it's Amsoil Sabre oil? Could that be it?
It's a blue and white package. I wanted to say, yeah, they got, like, I get their Silver Streak chains, and that's blue and white packaging too. I can't remember the name of it now. I keep it in the shop. I use it, but customers, they love. It's like $2.50 a pack retail. So, hey, let me get one of those. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to jump off. I got to go get my kids to bed.
All right. Hey, we appreciate you jumping on, JD. Thank you, man. Thank you for your time as well.
Yeah, no problem.
And answering questions as well, too.
All right, you guys take care.
Yeah, have a good night.
Hey, Phil. I'm sorry. I was going to ask you. I started watching your yard book video, but I didn't finish it. I've been using yard book. Do you use yard book as well?
Well, I switched over to another software that's designed for landscapers and lawn care professionals. It's called Lawn Pro. You have to buy it. There's a cost on it. I think it's a one-time fee of like $280 or something. But I did pay for that software, and now I have full lifetime access to it. So it's not like a monthly subscription or anything. But I was using Yardbook prior to Lawn Pro, and I use it's almost the same thing. There's just a little bit different changes. That's why it costs a little bit more. But Yardbook is great. I think it's amazing software, especially for guys that are going to be using it for small engine repair, because like in my video, I just kind of described how you can use it for small engine repair business. So did you have any questions on it or what?
No, I had started watching the video, and then I had to go do something. So I didn't know what the end result if you use it. I find it actually, for anybody just starting, it's pretty user friendly. You kind of got to learn it, get into it a little bit. Yeah. But now that I've been using it, it's pretty simple, I think. And it's not designed for that, but it's easy enough to create the invoices. And once you start putting your parts in, and then you go to another invoice, the query just brings those same price and parts right back up as you type them in. I like that aspect of it.
Yep. No, that's great. Yeah, it's like it's all automated, really. I mean, the automations are insane. I mean, it auto fills in for you and everything like that. So you got a spark plug on there.
To take credit cards?
Stripe. So if you're using Yardbook, it's Stripe. Same thing with Lawn Pro, it's Stripe. So.
Well, I haven't set up the pay through Yardbook. I use Square. Yeah. It seemed like Square was a little bit. It's like 2.6%. I think Yardbook charged a little bit more on the credit card.
Man. It might be a little bit different. I'm not too sure. I've never gotten to into the fees much. I love getting paid right away. It's unbelievable how fast you can get paid just by charging credit cards. And a lot of people, in the small engine field, they'll either pay you cash or check, either way. But it's just another alternative. If they really want to pay with the credit card, you can do so by having the Square. And I do have Square, by the way. I do have an account, and I have the little Square thing. So if they really want to pay with the credit or debit, you can do so with this, just hook it up to your phone and have them swipe. So it's really easy, really convenient.
Yeah, I find it. I was dropping off a more today, and the guy wanted his credit card, and I just pulled out my Square, and right there, I'd already printed out a invoice. I make it a point when the piece of equipment's ready, I email them and tell them it's ready for pickup. Plus, I attach a PDF of the invoice from Yardbook, and I've had quite a few comments saying, "Wow, that's professional." I do it for a couple of reasons. I want them to have their copy. I give them a copy. Plus, I don't want them to show up at my place and be surprised about the bill. They already know. If they got any questions, they can call.
Exactly. Yeah. No. So a paper copy of an invoice is great. Or what I do, I don't like carrying paper. I just send them to their email. So as soon as they pay,
Right.
I just mark that invoice as paid and I send it as a receipt. So it's great. I mean, it's really convenient. Dr. LMSB says, Phil/Stuart, do you have a specific machine that you don't like to work on? I'll let you go. I'll let you answer this one first, and then I'll proceed. Was there?
You know, I don't. I can't name any. There's some that are more difficult than others, but you know, the labor rate tells the tune. I mean, if it's a difficult machine I'll explain to the customer, hey, like some of these compact Honda suitcase generators, I'll let them know, hey, these things you got to break down to get into. So you know, look for the labor cost to be a little bit more, but no, I can't think of one that I just hate to see roll in the door.
Yeah, no, I agree. One piece of equipment, and for those that have been following me, I hate McCulloch or Mini Max. Those little chainsaws, top handle saws. Absolutely one of the worst chainsaws to work on, because you have to take apart literally every single piece of cover, clutch, sprocket. I mean, everything just to get to the carburetor. It's a pain in the neck, and I don't like when it comes into the shop, but I'll work on it, you know, if I have to. So, Rusty Rooster, welcome. Thank you for joining. There was one more question. It was from William. He says, I had it on here. What kind or type of tachometer do anyone on here use? So I use a Steel EDT8. I love that tachometer. It's portable, no wires. You just point it towards the spark plug and it'll give you your RPM reading. What about you, Stuart? Do you use a tachometer?
Yes, I do. I just got one last year off of Amazon. It was like a $26. It's a digital, and basically you just a couple wraps around the spark plug wire, and I find it very easy to use, and it's not a fancy one, but it definitely does the job.
Yeah. That's good. So, Stuart, what got you into small engine repair? Like, why small engines? Why not automotive? Why not diesel mechanics? Why not work at a 9-to-5 job, maybe at like an office? What got you into small engine repair? Do you have a
Oh yeah, sure. I just throughout my life, I just always like to work on my own stuff, and you know, never let I don't know how to work on that stop me. I can figure that out, and I've just been doing it over the years, and now that I'm like, okay, I'm looking 10 years out. What am I going to do at age 62? And I'm definitely not going to be competing, in the normal workforce with the younger guys. So I said, I'm going to start a small engine repair business closer to retirement. Thus my point, I kind of got thrusted into it because of COVID. And I just like tinker with them and learn it. I mean, look, I don't turn any machine down. I've got machines in here that I've never even saw. And I say, hey, sure, let me take a look at it. And look, this day and time, you could pretty much Google and use someone else's experience to help you learn on this machine. Plus, if you take the time to learn how to work on that one, then you're ready for the next one to roll in.
Yeah, exactly. I guess this draws to William's other question. He says, do y'all work on ATVs and golf carts, etc.? I don't work on ATVs or golf carts, just in my business. I would love to get into them, but I wouldn't know exactly what I'm getting myself into. I've worked on a few ATVs in my life, but I've only like one golf cart maybe, but it's not a regular thing that comes into my shop anyways. I get a lot more riding mowers than I would ATVs. I mean, it's just outweighs like crazy. But if I ever had to, yeah, sure, I would. But I wouldn't feel really confident in working on ATVs and golf carts over a riding mower. and I'll be honest with you there. What about you, Stuart?
Yeah, I work on ATVs and golf carts. Now I let them know I'm not gonna be pulling engines and doing engine work, but brakes, any carb issue, putting pads on brake pads and carburetors or stuff like that. Putting a new throttle cable and some of these golf carts now, they're not much more than fancy engines with torque converters in it, like you'd have on a go-kart. I mean, even some of these Polarises. Now, some of them are fuel injected, but some people are scared of fuel injection system, but they're really pretty simple.
Yeah.
So yeah, I work on those. I don't get any major engine work on any of that though. I won't do major engine work on lawnmowers. Most of the time it's cost effective to drop a new 25 horsepower Briggs and Stratton engine in that sucker than to try to go in there and start fixing stuff.
Yeah. Rayleigh says, if it's got a small engine, we probably work on it. I love it.
That's a good motto. That's I kind of stick to that too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like CNL. He had a video and he says the best part about working on small engines is the word small. They're small engines.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, if anybody else wants to jump on and join as a guest, we are still accepting guests on here. I threw the stream link out there, so if you want to, just go ahead and click on it and join on here. You can be part of the panel. So, Stuart, is this the first time of you joining on here? And have you ever, experienced a live stream on StreamYard or?
No, this is the first time. I saw yesterday that you was going to have a live one, and when I sit down, you were in the midst of it, and I followed you, and then you said something about people joining in, and as soon as you put that link, I said, well, what the heck? I might as well see if I can't jump in there. So here's a young dog teaching an old dog some new tricks here.
And I'm the other way around, man. But I enjoy sharing my knowledge, I think we should all be sharing knowledge and tips on how to save money and everything like that. So.
Right. I like I said, I'm in a rural setting, and people are just elated that I've opened my shop, and it's 16 by 20. I don't have no showroom. I didn't go spend a bunch of money. But there's farmland all around me, and these kids, they'll stop in. One stopped in with his 4-wheeler the other day, and he was probably 11 years old, and he's like, these lights that I put on not working. And I told him, I said, well, you come back one day, and I said, instead of me fixing it for you, I'll just kind of talk you through it and let you fix it yourself. That way you ain't got to try to get no money out of your mom and daddy. Oh, okay, I appreciate it. I do little things like that too.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Rich asks, do you work in the shop full time, or do you stop shop work when mowing season starts? So, Stuart, I own a lawn care business, and that's basically my main source of income throughout the spring, summer, and fall. When it's winter time, I'm full time small engine repair. But a good question, Rich. When the mowing season starts, I don't quit or stop shop work. I don't work as often as I would have in the hot season of small engine repair. But as soon as mowing season starts, I'm out there mowing, working 70, 80-hour weeks sometimes, and it gets stressful. And that's just lawn care. So I might not even have time to do small engine repair in the week. So I don't take on much machines during my mowing season. But when I get slow with mowing, like when maybe July, when the grass barely grows, then yeah, I'd take on work. But I kind of fluctuate those two things. And I tell my clients all the time, even if my clients want to have their machines serviced by me and nobody else but me, then I tell them, hey, my turnaround is like 2 weeks right now. So just letting you know, I let them know ahead of time that it's going to take a little bit longer to get their machine serviced. And usually it takes me a week or something like that, or even shorter. But I always tell them, 2 weeks, that's, I just let you know that it might take 2 weeks to get your machine back. So I don't quit small engine repair when the mowing season starts, but I kind of downgrade and focus on making a lot more profit with lawn care. So. All right, William, how are you, man?
Yeah, not too bad. How about you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Just, we're all hanging in here, trying to learn.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hello, Stuart. First time
William, how are you?
Good.
Nice.
So this is your first time doing a live?
It is for me, yes, sir.
How you like it? Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I think it's fun.
Well, I've been watching these guys, Phil and CNL and that other fellow. What's it? Oh, I can't think of his name now. He's got a pretty big shop. He's the one that you said that had a good video with heat in your shop.
Oh, KB.
Yeah, he seems definitely on top of what he's doing. And I just learn. I watch him and learn what I can from him. And I've gotten a lot of good information. And like I said, I just opened myself back in August. So,
yeah,
you know, I've been doing a lot of leg work in this winter, though I've been actually busy, if you would, for a one-man show. You know, I'm still gaining, you know, parts dealers, and I'm working on Kohler now, but, you know, they want you to buy that EFI. You got to have all that to do their warranty stuff. And so Coleman, no one around here works on Coleman. I know it's not a big product, but, you know, these tractor supply companies and Walmart, they sell these little Coleman stuff. So I'm waiting to hear back from that girl so I can do their warranty work. So doing a lot of paperwork stuff and trying to get situated before grass cutting season cuts around.
Yeah, that's good. Tyler's got a question here for everybody. Storing fuel tank, empty tank, or in the middle? So when I store my equipment, it's about 3/4 tank of ethanol-free fuel. That's just how I store my equipment. You know, some guys that like to drain their tanks, drain the carburetors, and completely have an empty tank. But what about you guys?
Well, if it's a metal tank, I tell them to drain it and run that carb till she runs out. But put a little Stay-Bil in the last gas. That way, if there's any residue of gas that's left in the carb after you run it, is fine. Now, if it's a plastic tank, sure, fill it up, ethanol free, put some stabilizer in it, and let her keep.
Yeah,
that's where for me. I use. Do you ever use seafoam?
I have.
Yeah. At the end, I'll run some seafoam through it. Like that helps.
Yeah, seafoam's good stuff. Yeah. What about another question here? Be Happy says, do you go pick up or deliver customer machines? Have a trailer? I do. I have a 6x12 enclosed trailer, so anything that I can fit inside that trailer, I'll haul. Majority of the things that I haul are riding mowers with bagging systems because they're really wide. So I usually just use the trailer to mow or to haul riding mowers. But if it's a snowblower, I have ramps and there's no need to hook up the trailer and take just a snowblower or push mower to the client's house. I'll just use my ramps and get it up there and strap it down and take it to the client's house without needing to use a trailer. But I offer pickup and delivery service, but that's charged separately. I think I made a lot of videos on that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I pick them up also. I've just got a 5x8 trailer, which brings to mind, I did just turn down to work on one. It's a big commercial Jacobson. Have you ever dealt with any of the Jacobson?
I know they are. Yeah, but I've never worked on one though.
Yeah, they're, you know, hydraulic all the way around, but the thing is so big and so heavy. I told the gentleman, I said, look, I've got a 1-ton lift. I said, but it would be hard for me to work on in my shop and with the capabilities I had to even lift that thing up. I said, so I really can't handle something that big. It's a beast. Nice mower, but.
Yeah.
This is like a 72-inch cut mower, you know. This is,
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
yeah, it's no joke.
You hardly ever see them 72-inch. That's just about too big for around here.
Well, the guy has, like I said, I'm in a rural set, and he's probably got 6 acres of nothing but rolling hills around his house that he cuts. And so, a lot of grasshoppers around here too. These farmers, they love these nice grasshopper mowers.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said Bobcat changed. You know, they used to be green, and they changed to white and orange. I guess kind of like the Bobcat, the skid steer or whatever.
Oh, I thought it was white, orange, and brown or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they changed it, but
yeah, I liked your one of your last videos, Phil, about what's the name of it, when mechanics have a bad day or whatever.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty cool. That happens to me a lot.
Yeah, that was part 1. I don't know if I'll probably make a part 2 since there was a lot of positive feedback from it.
Yeah,
but I didn't have. I really wanted to include a surging machine, right after you clean the carb and the machine surges.
Yeah.
After the carb clean, I really wanted to include that as my first one, but I didn't have a machine that was surging, so I couldn't make that in the video. But maybe in part 2, I'll have a surging machine and I'll do that in the video.
Phil, do you get stuff that customers give you that you turn around and flip, or?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yeah, and you tell them that it's not worth fixing because of the labor rate,
right?
And, not necessarily the parts. Sometimes it is the parts, but majority of the time it's the labor rate. And they say, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy a new one anyways. Do you want to keep this? And usually, sometimes I charge them for a diagnostic fee, and they'll give me the machine, so I get paid. No matter, I get paid. On top of that, I get to keep their machine, which is really nice. But sometimes they say, hey, if I give you the machine, will you waive the fee? And I'll be nice and say yeah, because I know for a fact that I'll flip it. So sometimes it's just beneficial that way. But
it's amazing that, I mean, I've had people give me I've got 6 machines up for sale now. Just sold one Monday, and it's just like, hey, I got me a nice 0 turn. I'll use this one for a year and a half, and you can have it if you want it. Sure, I'll take it.
I wish someone gave me a 0 turn. It's usually like
I'm like,
weed whacker.
I tell them, I said, don't be surprised if you don't see it out for sale, because I'm in business. They're like, oh yeah, no problem. And so, but yeah, especially these push mowers. Just one was given to me today. I told them, I said, look, you're minimum $65 into this. I said, but if the carb is, I got to pull it and that, and it's $159 machine. He's like, yeah, you can just have it. Okay, so I cleaned the carb and got it for sale out there, $70.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But it's still cost effective for them to go buy another one. We just happen to know, okay, we can fix it and at least recoup the money that we would have got if we'd have fixed it for you, per se.
Molly.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, hey, Phil, I'm going to get off. I appreciate what you're doing, and I commend you and say keep up the good work, and I'll keep following you.
Thank you, Stuart. I appreciate that kind feedback. Yeah, we're almost done here, almost at that 2-hour mark, so we'll be getting off here as well shortly. So I appreciate it, Stuart. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being a guest on the show, and maybe catch you on the next one as well. So if we do it live.
All right. I appreciate you. Talk to you later.
Take care. Okay. Well, yeah, man, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Where's old David at? I figured he'd be on.
Well, he had to go, but he hasn't joined any of my lives recently. I don't know why, but he's been joining his lives. He hasn't been joining mine.
Yeah. I just happened to see. I was kind of busy this evening. I just happened to look, see you on. I try to catch them when I can.
Oh, hold on. Be Happy asks, for warranty work, do you need lots of insurance coverage to haul machines from the store to the shop and vice versa? So Be Happy, when I do, so the only warranty, I'm a warranty center for Furman power equipment, and I don't do hauling or pickup of machines because they don't, the Furman doesn't pay for your pickup and delivery service. So that have to be on the client. And I don't want to push that on the client because Furman is sending them an invoice. So Furman is actually sending them an invoice, and I don't know how that happens or whatever, but I haven't dealt with that yet. I just recently signed up to do warranty work with Furman, but so far what I've been reading, Furman, the customer will bring the machine to you. Furman is just generators, so they're not, I don't think that I'll have to pick up. Maybe I will, or you never know. I'll have to contact Furman on that. But as far as insurance, I have general liability insurance in my business, and car insurance and trailer insurance if you really want it. But look into that. TW Small Engine says, as Phil, he said before, pickup and deliver is a huge money maker for your business. Even if you offer free pickup, it gains you a lot of work. Yeah, I agree. But I'd never offer free pickup and delivery because you're going to waste a lot of gas. But if that's the only way to get the customer through the door, then yeah, you can offer it free if you really want to. But I'll always charge a small fee for pickup and delivery. Mowers, Rich says, have you ever not been able to fix something, then had to send them to someone else? Not that I recall. I might have in way past when I used to work in the other shop, but doing my own repairs now at home, I've never had to send work out. The only ones I was talking about before, like chainsaw rebuilds, like full on rebuilds, I sub it to another guy because I know for a fact that he only does chainsaws. He only rebuilds chainsaws. That's what he does. He only works on chainsaws. So I give them all my chainsaws to him and just sub out that work. But I rebuild a chainsaw myself. I know how to do that, but it's just not worth my time. And he charges a low price, so I can make money off of that. But yeah, I mean, I've never been able to. I've always been able to fix whatever came in the shop, but I will sub out work that I don't feel comfortable doing. So hopefully that answers your question. Be Happy, he said, do you need extra car insurance for that? I'm not too sure. I don't know the answer to that question. It might reflect on that the distributor or the equipment company that you're doing warranty work for, they might require insurance for your vehicle or some kind of policy separate from just regular car insurance. Be Happy asks, what type of machine is your bread and butter profit wise? Any type of riding mower tune up is just my bread and butter profit. Unless I'm flipping a machine, then that's a lot of profit, but that takes time. Usually you have to do a lot of work when you flip a machine. But if for customers, any type of riding mower that comes into my shop is a very good profit moneymaker. So
you talk about flipping machines. I can put a ad my local Craigslist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'll come haul away your unwanted riding lawnmower, weed eater. You'd be surprised how many I've got. I mean, it's been good. The guy said, I just bought a new one, and you can have that if you want it, and clean the car and clean it up and sell it.
Yeah, I agree. Rich asks, do you rebuild zero-turn hydro drives or just replace with new? I've never had to do that yet. I do own a zero-turn with 2 hydrostatic transmissions. I've never had to rebuild one for a client or for myself, so I wouldn't know. I would just look at cost effectiveness, if it's really worth rebuilding, how long it would take you versus just replacing one with a new one. So tally up rebuilding one versus just installing a new one. What about you, Willie?
How about transmission?
I think it's the same thing. It's not
Yeah,
like,
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about the same as you. I just I ain't too familiar with rebuilding them. I just most times just trying to weigh it out and just replace it most of the time.
Exactly.
But a lot of transmissions you can't rebuild. I know Terrell had that one on Tough Torque that he rebuilt.
Oh yeah, yeah. They say that you can't rebuild them, but I think he did.
Yeah,
some of those aren't serviceable. The
yeah,
transmissions.
Yeah. Some of them you can't service them. So.
Yeah. Doctor says, I hate when customers try to self-diagnose their machines. Do you agree? I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And they waste your time on the phone. Like the video I had today, customers don't want to tell you your life story, and they tell you what's wrong with the machine over the phone. They just keep going. And like, you just like want to drop, like just stop them with what they're talking about and just say, hey, just bring it in.
Yeah.
You know, I'll look at it. I'll let you know what's wrong with it. I don't need you to tell me that it could be this, it could be that. Just let me look at it. Just bring it to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get those phone calls all the time. Yeah.
Hard to diagnose over the phone too. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Can't do it.
All right, man. We are almost at 2 hours. I think we should be wrapping it up here now. William, any final remarks? Any final suggestions for this? We got 22 people watching now. What's something that what kind of goal do you have, William, for 2021? Do you have any goals that you want to hit for 2021? What do you want to do differently this year that you did last year?
Yeah. I just try to be a better person and just do. Keep on doing. Try to grow my little business, and like I said, I just do it part time, so I probably never do it full time. Around here, I live in a small county, and it'd be hard to do it full time. I'd go broke in the wintertime. So I don't know, just to be a better person, better Christian, and just try to treat people right. And who is it? Says it. KB says, and choose just have a good day.
Choose to have a good day.
Yeah, I'm most time a pessimistic. I'm going to try to be more of an optimistic. And how about you?
Yeah, just try to, as far as YouTube, try to push out a lot more content that'll help a lot of individuals. I've been seeing recently that all of my winter videos, like snowblower videos, have been gaining a lot of views, and I think that's because of those storms that are happening down east. Because a lot of people are just constantly trying to look up how to adjust this, how to fix that, how to do this. Yeah. And my videos are popping up for them, and I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from people that just, man, thank you so much for this video. I couldn't find anyone else that has this kind of content except you. So much positive feedback, and I just want to continue doing that, and helping other people out and trying to, grow tremendously, this year. I don't know what this year holds, but those are my kind of goals. Just continue on what I'm doing and create positive content for those people that need it. And and make more money in my business.
Yeah. I think people think it's just easy to do a video, which I've never done one myself, but hearing what y'all say about editing and I mean, it's not easy. Well, you have to get something to work on first of all, then you got to get this camera set up. You have to have a camera and doing all the editing, and I mean, that's a lot of hard work. What people don't realize goes into it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you got to create an idea what you're going to film.
Yeah.
You got to film it, and then you got to edit it, and then you got to post it, and then you got to do all the YouTube stuff, write a description, thumbnails, do this, do that, and it's just sometimes it's such a headache. Like I do a video, and I'm like, man, it doesn't get boring at any time, but like what I'm saying is, it's so time consuming, you know,
Yeah.
that you just want to like quit it all and just take a break. But that's
Yeah.
why I create content and I don't publish it live, right? I don't post it public. I just keep it private, but it's
Yeah.
still posted on YouTube. You guys just can't see it. So what I do is I make, you know, good content and upload them and have like 5 to 6 videos ready to go, ready to be posted public. And when the time comes, Monday and Fridays, those are my posting days, then I just post them.
Yeah.
So,
That's why I like it. You have something to look forward to. Like you post yours, I kind of know when you do it, which I get notifications. But I appreciate y'all ones that takes the time to do it. That's why I try to watch all your videos and comment. And, I mean, I know it's hard work.
yeah. No,
A lot of work and hard work, and time consuming.
Yeah. You Made Me Lawn says, walk us through your diagnosis procedure. For any type of engine, I always check to see if it's getting spark, if it's got compression, and if it's getting fuel, if it's getting fuel delivery. For any type of engine, that's how you can diagnose it and see what's wrong with it. So 3 steps there. Hopefully that'll help you with basically any. There's a few other things depending on the machine. A mower might have a little bit different than a snowblower, but for basically any type of engine, fuel, compression, and spark, check those 3 out, and you should be good. So, Be Happy asks, I'm new to small machines. What's your channel, William?
I don't have no content. I'm just a channel supporter. I'm you have to have somebody that watches from the support.
Yeah, there's content creators and there's viewers.
Yeah, somebody got to be a viewer. So I'm just a viewer and supporter.
And I appreciate you being a support to me, William, man. All of your positive comments, they help me a lot.
I try to, you and KB and DNR, and I try to be faithful watching them.
Yeah. I will continue doing this as long as there's at least one person that I'm helping out.
Yeah. And you are. Like I say, I've been watching yours when you had your other channel a couple years ago. And I'll tell you a funny story. I talk about diagnosis. I did all the, like you said, I checked him. This guy had just had bought a wood splitter, had a Briggs and Stratton engine. I forget what size engine. And I tried to help him on the phone, told him how to clean the carburetor. And he was just a year old, so I knew it had compression. And, it should. And cleaned the carburetor and everything else, and checked the spark plug, and everything was good. And so it is about an hour away. So I said, well, I'll come down there and see if I can get it. I worked on it and cleaned the carburetor again and checked everything. And finally, I was about ready to give up. It's about dark. You know what was wrong with it? Caught picking dirt daubers had built a thing in the muffler, and his muffler clogged up. I saw that. I said, my gosh. And cleaned that out, and it fired right up. So that's one of the first things I check anymore. Like on a wood splitter or something, I'll go to the muffler and make sure ain't no dirt daubers. I worked about an hour that day, and I felt like a dummy. I said, darn, I should have checked that. I should have seen that. But most of the time it ain't that. Have you ever had that to happen?
Kind of. Yeah. I've been in that situation. Yeah. What?
Have you ever had dirt daubers to build a thing in the muffler and clog the muffler up?
No, not in the muffler.
Yeah, that's what that after. Like I said, I cleaned the carburetor and I checked. I said the spark plug was good, and I said, what the heck? And like I said, I was just about ready to quit. And I looked over and saw the muffler, and it was almost shut because of the dirt daubers. And I took a screwdriver and cleaned it out, and it fired right up. He was happy as a lark.
Yeah.
But
all right. I'm done for tonight. It's been a 2-hour mark. So, William, I appreciate you joining on here, talking to me.
Oh, I appreciate you doing it. taking the time to do it. I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, well, I enjoy it too. I want to thank everybody that left a super chat today. I really appreciate you guys. You know, that goes back to the channel, and all the proceeds go back to the channel and creating, you know, better content and better video and audio, you know, improving the quality and all that. But I hope everybody else has a good night. One more from Rich here. He says, great live 2005. Back in the day, I did repair as mowers and blowers repair. With COVID, I got back into the repair and flip only. I have taken on a few clients for repairs again, doing videos also. Great. Yeah, check out Mowers and Blowers Outdone. And I hope everybody else has a great night. William, you take care, man. Stay safe out there.
I
And,
just
yeah.
tell that Be Happy or whatever it was to just they can post on yours, and we'll try to help answer if you have any questions. Or and wouldn't it be happy to asking about?
Yeah, if any of you guys have any more questions after this video ends or on any other videos, go ahead and post your questions, and I'm always on there answering comments. Yeah. And if it's a question as a comment, then I'll answer it. So yeah, no problem. Everybody have a good night. Jimmy, take care. Be happy later. Thank you for joining on here, and we'll see you guys. I don't know, probably in another 2 weeks we'll do another live Q&A or something like this. So in the meantime, I hope everybody has a good night, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Have a good one. See you.